important to share their stories because it helps others to live their passion, it will give them strength to face the difficulties. C'est important de partager nos histoires parce que ça nous donne la force de traverser les difficultés, mais surtout de vivre aussi nos passions.
If we don't tell our stories, nobody can tell them. And who else than us to tell our own stories? Telling our stories and the stories that we hear has been something that has made us who we are. The stories that we hear right from childhood and the stories that we tell people about ourselves through our acts, because gestures speak as well, are the things that people retain about us. And those are the things that are our brand or our brand promise. And that's the story that is attached to our brand as persons. And I think events like the Hovareigns Connect enable us to connect with other people and to know the people, the story behind the people that we know already. And good thing is Hovareigns Connect is bringing the people that are innovating, that are disrupting in their various domains, but that we barely know about. And since we are not used to telling our stories, or when even they go to media, all they do is tell the story of their brands or promote their brands, we barely know their journey. Telling our stories enable us to actually connect from where the person is coming from, to understand why they're doing what they are doing today, and to understand how they dream and why they dream. And we need to do that more, because if we don't do it, nobody will do it, and nobody can do it better than we do.
I think I'll give my reactions in two folds. The first is about how the event actually went. It was well organized, but I have some few reactions with respect to how it was organized. The first thing is that it didn't start on time, which is normal, the Cameroon habit about events, we always like to come late for things. I think next time what we should improve is that the keynote speakers should be available, the coaches should be available, and on time, and you start. That's to make an impact. That's what you set as a brand. The second thing is respect of time for those that are speaking. It's always very important to respect time, because you see me, I kept looking at my watch. I think to solve that problem, you that are doing the interview, you have to meet those guys, you prepare a sheet, you talk with them sincerely. It wouldn't be this natural as it was now, but it's going to make the event more. So if you have like 3 speakers that are going to talk, for example, maybe 15 minutes, you talk with them, they will have that they will talk more on the things, and it will be in a shorter time. And then also, thirdly, I think it should have people from different type of fields, as you tried today with that. They had someone that was in a restaurant, they had someone that was a coach. And then, okay, now with what I learned, it was a good event. I got the story, or her story, which was good until she got emotional, which shows it was a real story. But I didn't ask her a question which I wanted to ask to her, and that question was, she stayed in Europe. Restaurant business are very profitable in Europe. There are lots of chains of restaurants. Why did she have that urge to come back to Cameroon?
About storytelling, I must start by saying it has a lot of impact. A lot of impact in the sense that personally what motivated me to get involved in an event like this is as a result of my life and the challenges that I went through. Almost everything that I have been able to learn today is as a result of stories that are listened from other people. So it built me up, it gave me the confidence, it gave me that ability to develop myself and start. But of course, one thing about storytelling is you do not just listen to somebody's story and then you say, okay, this person did this, I am going to do it. What you do is you listen to it and then you contextualize it, you bring it to your reality. So the impact is to listen to other people, what they did to succeed in what they were doing, and then you try to bring it into your reality and what you are doing presently to ensure that whatever challenge that you were going to maybe encounter, the person who said their story, if they had gone through that, it can help you to see how you maybe go around it or overcome such a challenge when you reach it. So I feel like it's something which is so impactful, especially to the young people who are aspiring to reach their goals with purpose.
Somebody telling me a story is like his personal experience. So all the stories that many people have told me has impacted me, impacted my life in so many aspects, depending on the struggles and how they come across their difficulties. And these difficulties is like what the challenges I face in my day-to-day life. So I learn from the mistakes, I learn from the overcomings, and I am able to overcome mine.
Yeah, when I went to Europe, they told me that I had a cancerous cell on my breast. So for me, it was like the end of the world. I didn't want to tell people because I was in a society where you just have to keep to yourself. Yeah, so after visiting some people, they asked me to share my story with others. After sharing my story, I could carry my pain. And now, when I see somebody having breast cancer or a tumor on the breast, I always take myself as an example to comfort them, and they feel more happy. And I'm glad I have beautiful breasts.
I'm actually new when it comes to storytelling. I actually discovered it like 2 or 3 months ago, and it's more of when I think of storytelling, I think of it like more of an art. I really want to hear experts talk about corporate stories and more. I'm really interested.
Ça impacte. Naturellement, ça dépend de l'histoire. Pardon. Si c'est une histoire émouvante, ça impacte toujours. Si c'est une histoire qui permet de construire, ça peut nous donner des idées de construire, de s'inspirer de celui qui partage pour pouvoir nous ouvrir aussi les brèches.
Quand les gens me racontent leur propre histoire, ça me permet moi aussi de comprendre, de me rendre compte que ce que je traverse personnellement, certains ont aussi traversé ça, et que pour arriver où ils sont aujourd'hui, il a fallu qu'ils traversent les mêmes difficultés que moi. Oui. Bon, peut-être pas raconter, mais j'ai beaucoup lu les livres de ceux-là qui ont réussi, et du coup, je me suis rendu compte que pour arriver quelque part, pour atteindre le succès, ça demande beaucoup de sacrifices. Par exemple, ça demande beaucoup de nuits blanches, ça demande beaucoup d'années, ça demande beaucoup de persévérance. Oui.
To me, storytelling is all about having an experience, having a different point of view from past issues, what has happened in the past, and how events used to unfold in the past, and how we can lead it to know how we can act in the future. Because I've been part of a lot of stories, and they always impact me. It's really a pleasure to be here with one of my mentors whose story has personally touched me, and I always want to be like her. I always follow the path, and what I'm doing right now is as a result of her story, following her line.
Storytelling for me is a way to communicate, to pass on a message that may influence, motivate, or inspire people. I've helped some people, and they have motivated me to change the direction where I was going through.
I'm back home with grandma telling me stories from our village and everything, and we always have a moral of the story at the end. That is storytelling for me. But I want to know how I incorporate storytelling in the corporate world. How do I use it when I'm in a meeting with my managers? How do I use it to present a project? And one of my fans of storytellers is Tiffany Malott. She's a networker, and when she speaks, she's always incorporating stories in her talk. So that's what I'm waiting for. How do I incorporate storytelling in my corporate world?
When we talk about storytelling, is something very important. I add value, because when you don't know where people pass through, you can't understand your life. So when you come somewhere and people open to you, then you understand that maybe you are late, or you need to work hard and also to grow up. You need to change something. And sometimes it's only one word which can make the change in your life. By attending this kind of event, you can transform your life, because you will hear something which is going to give you opportunity to save maybe 10 years error that you maybe will commit if you were never attend this kind of a session. So this is incredible to be where people share a story and permit people also to talk about themselves, so that you understand that you are not alone in this world, that some people are also having their own experience, and each experience add value. You cannot go somewhere where people share experience and you come out empty.
Storytelling, I'm actually, I would say, I've been a literature student and today practicing communication. And in literature, they used to tell us that there's no story that is born out of a vacuum. Literature does not exist in a vacuum. It was either inspired by something, or the writer, either drew inspiration from reality, and all. So I believe that storytelling, came about and it had a particular objective to attain, and whatever the reason that the writer writes or the teller tells the story, it has, a particular objective. And I want to say that reading books or listening to stories, whether motivational, whether from my icons or role models, has impacted my life. It has shaped the way I think, the way I see life, the way I, appreciate situations and all, and has crafted me in one way or the other, to what I am today.